Hi, and welcome. I'm Haynel Rose from ER Technologies, and we are a ERP solutions provider here in Irvine, California. Welcome to our webinar series in smart manufacturing. Today, I want to show how small, medium manufacturing companies can deploy AI to their teams in a slow and creep in a manner that is a creep, walk, run approach. There is a lot to talk about AI, and we've seen firsthand how it has intimidated a lot of people and has created a kind of fear, especially from workers in manufacturing industries. It seems unnecessary, so I am attempting to present a simplified approach how to introduce and learn AI to begin the journey in your manufacturing environment. We want to emphasize that this is about empowering your teams rather than replacing your teams. Because that fear of replacement, that AI and agent is going to replace your job, is a little bit far-fetched at this point in time on the journey to accommodate AI. So we will attempt to show a method and an approach to strategize bringing AI into your manufacturing environment so it can enhance your operation and your production and get your people upskilled to be able to be more beneficial to your transformation with digital transformation and also introducing AI. So it is a framework with a practical approach, we think, that will optimize your ROI, minimize your costs, and automate your processes without disruption. If if the approach is wisely adopted in a manner that is disruptive, that is less disruptive. So I want to be able to discuss with my manufacturing colleagues and partners and clients and friends a strategic approach in what I would recommend in approaching to bring AI into your operation. Now, unlike most industries, manufacturing is, I always see a little bit different because it's more complicated. We're under more pressure and it's more urgent. And because of this complicated approach, we are plagued with more skills gap. Talent is becoming less to be able to do things and learn things on the floor in the production environment. And it's all the more imperative to deploy AI as early as possible. We think that using AI to reshape the operations can be very impactful and provide significant ROI benefits. It creates advantages like detecting product defects in real time, monitor, analyze intelligent data faster to prevent downtime, provide more early warning alerts for an edge in your team. Manufacturing is really under pressure because of labor shortages, compliance risks, and downtime costs. The current approach is reactive in most cases. You want to fix problems day after day as they occur. With AI, you have a little bit more leeway, and it leverages you to move to be able to predict and prevent. And it's a model where you can reduce costs and stay ahead. So we think it's time to stop reacting and start predicting. And we want to be able to leverage AI with the capability and show how easy can be for your people to begin their journey early and become less intimidated over time learning AI. Now, as we go forward, we think we want to invite initially because this is a strategic approach. So we think the CFOs, the CIOs, the leaders of the organization environment who are driving digital transformation and seeking ROI are key drivers to start learning and understanding what AI is all about. Plant managers and operation directors are seeking a smarter way for performance, so it's imperative that they have a knowledge and understanding as well. When it comes to your other teams, in terms of the quality players, production players, and supply chain leaders who are responsible for inspection, scheduling, and workflow execution, it's imperative that they are also included. And then your other leaders that are exploring the details of your operation and know your operation should be the ones exploring because they're the ones who are innovative and able to bring smart manufacturing into the fold to understand and execute at the floor level where AI has a place. So it's imperative to get a collective team together to understand this new technology and introduce the operation of it starting out from day one and provide that formal strategy rollout. By beginning to train their teams, they can enable new gains and confidence to impact the operations at no or less cost at this point in time while the technology is brand new. So we want to be able to present a strategic, full type of operation to the manufacturing leaders and their teams to be able to see what the capabilities of AI are and how they should approach it. And we're making a recommendation based on what we see here as the leaders and the players of the manufacturing environment. Now, I want to be able to show a use case that we did a pilot for with a Midwest electronics company. In the long run, what we did was with a single agent install, just in key basic three about three a basic areas of their operation. In their finished goods area for final assembly, where they were assembling their product final assembly build circuit cards into boxes to be shipped. We introduced AI agent to be able to improve an operation. We also introduce an AI agent in their work inspection process as part of their whip operation. And this was a very big success because it almost doubled the productivity in this one area because from time to time they were short staff in terms of who did manual soldering versus for the overhaul repair of certain solder circuit boards, etc. And it took the time away from identifying and depicting and recommended where the repair approaches on what circuit board by serial number, etc., to be repaired. And they pretty much doubled their output with the same number of people on the line. So there's a big advantages here, and this was where we see significant improvement. Now, in raw materials handling, before they dispatch jobs out to the floor, we did an analysis where the AI was introduced to be able to help them to accurately depict jobs that were ready and could be completed based on their schedule order flow to be able to see which jobs are ready and which ones are and they could proactively fulfill stockouts prior to releasing jobs to the shop floor. And this was a big savior in terms of that regard. So we installed one agent in each of these areas to be able to show how the advantages were really significant. And although in the dispatch area it was kind of minimal, but in the whip area it was pretty significant. And in the finished goods area, it was another success story. They improved quite a lot because they were able to organize and schedule capacity fulfillment pretty much on target and double their output almost. We pegged it as an overall improvement through these three areas on their manufacturing line. And this was not just building three agents to be able to help out in specific areas only. So we saw some significant improvement despite the fact that they did not have to hire any new additional workers, add another shift, etc., to improve their capacity, and they almost doubled their output in this regard. So that was a case study where we did that is really beneficial to the success of how you can have immediate success with AI. Now, here's a little breakdown of what we thought it was. The problem was inspection backlog. That was a big case, right? They could not keep up without having a shift and a half. They had to constantly had to have more people inspecting circuit cards and everything, and be able to manually put these repair in place was a problem. Get it completed on time, and it was significant because they just didn't have the capacity in terms of the number of qualified solder qualified sorterers or inspectors in this operation to be able to get it done. So it was significantly helpful at that operation and with regard to be able to improve their problem in terms of their capacity across here. So the other areas, as I said, we saw almost double the efficiency in the inspection area and in the improvement area in terms of the efficiency for, we automated some of the portion of the job in the final assembly and also in the dispatch area for job releases. And it was all about training some of the workers to be able to do some things. It's not about replacing the workers, but upskilling them and giving them a tool that gave them an added advantage to be able to be more efficient in terms of the manual, mundane steps in part of their operation. So it was a be able to, they were confident in being able to be more productive, almost twice as much, especially in the soldering area, and also on the dispatch and raw material handling management side. We saw some significant improvement. And the team that was trained there, they trained their team to be able to manage and make decisions a little faster based on the use of using AI tools to be able to be more productive. So this was the use case that we did in this electronics assembly operation company. I think they were in Indiana, someplace. Now, as we go forward, we believe the key thing is all about empowering the manufacturing team. So workers can be more productive with AI techniques. You will be able to minimize waste and defects in real time. And not only that, you'll be able to upskill your team because they have they're not doing as much mundane tasks. They're kind of doing more of the high value tasks related to their jobs because the biggest part of this thing is to be able to have that knowledge transferred in such a way to AI agents so that AI agents can be doing more of the mundane stuff faster and they're more productive that way. And it's a little more fun for that group of people to be able to mastering and learning AI and giving directions to orchestrate execution of their jobs on the shop floor. So overall, it's more secure. You benefit from increasing productivity very highly, and also that it leads to cost management, cost reduction, improvement in your ROI at the end of the day, and it becomes a little bit more efficient type of an operation. Not to mention, you're able to still work within your compliant and quality operation because you're not giving your AI agent the power to learn that knowledge. So it's repeatable, it's more accurate, and it delivers it quite on hand without the guesswork across your board. So this is to be able to give you an understanding. We want to be able to train the people. We want to be able to deploy the pilot in your environment, but we want you to understand that we are doing this and we do have some limited spots to be able to accommodate this, but we'd love to work with you and hear from you on how you want to be able to deploy the strategy in your operation. We'll talk a little more about that as we go along. So now let's go to our live platform where I can show you some examples of what we did in our case study and what the platform is all about. Now, there's a big talk about ChatGTP, and one of the concepts of AI is learning to do prompts. So here I have how we can start out by doing prompt, and this was a sample of how we used ChatGTP. Caution in mind, though, using in manufacturing operations and in certain companies, we want to be able to warn you about the do's and don'ts. So there are some do's in using the public platform for things that has to be, you have intellectual property kind of thing, compliance issues, quality things, but you can use the public AI tools such as ChatGTP, which is pretty common, and you can take advantage of it. But eventually, you'll have to maybe train your own AI internally to be able to do the things that's applicable to your specific company, your operation, and everything. So there are some do's and don'ts when it comes to your public AI versus the enterprise AI required. But in this case, we're trying to build a platform that's agnostic, that meaning it's applicable to a lot of manufacturing companies that don't have, some you have difference in ERP systems, such as what are you working with, an ERP system, or in some cases you're a smaller manufacturer, you do not have ERP systems, and we were able to apply to that case. So the AI can be trained to meet the environment based on the specific company that you have across a vast number of industries. So here we're using a quick sample with, in this case, we're using ChatGTP and build a prompt. Prompt engineering is a big, important component in building out your AI. And that's one of the first things that we try to teach in our training class to our users, how to build prompt. You want to be able to be capable of building the prompt. So here we start out, and this is just a sample of what we did in the inspection agent area, where we created prompt just to be able to build out. You talk to the agent, you give it this, and you give it a lot of the requirements. It repeats and clarifies your response that you ask it, but then it comes back and gives you a lot more details, which you verify and validate to determine how you build the role of the agent. So the role of the SOTA agent, you'll get a detailed description of what you can verify, and you map it against your own internal enterprise conditions before you put them into building the agent. So let's go to the platform where we have the agent built out. So here we have that same prompt you just saw from ChatGTP. We pulled it over into a tool that's been trained for the manufacturing environment, and we're using a specific tool to be able to create the agent. So here we've created the solder inspection agent, and you can see that we put the same information we got from ChatGTP, but we're going to modify it based on the knowledge base and the specificity of this manufacturing operation, which is an electronic circuit board assembly that has to follow mil spec for their soldering, etc., and that kind of stuff. So there's the compliance issues, not only for customers, but for industry, and in some cases military, if they're both building commercial and military, as this was in this case. So you establish the role of the agent first. And the agent is like a person, but it's an artificial person, so to speak, but they are given a knowledge and an education concept. So the same prompt that you use from your ChatGPT, you bullet in here, and now you begin to tailor for your own operation. And that's what it's all about. So you want to fine tune the instructions and give it the proper expectations based on your own internal enterprise knowledge, etc. And you will package that knowledge. It's as if you're trying to train this agent into the knowledge base for what's required for your company, like training an operator comes to work for you, and you want to take him through a certain class pertaining to your business, your enterprise, on what the standards are, what quality levels are, etc., and so forth. So it's your knowledge base that gets put into a document, and you can pull together a number of documents to be able to do this, to create that educated agent, so to speak, that can fit into your operation. You determine all the things requirements, such as what are defects, what's major, what's minor, etc., and what does good looks like, what does it look like. So this is the output format, and you want to be able to have it give you the output total in its entirety, what's good, what's minor, critical, etc., and the detail level, the range of levels of good quality, good and bad, and so forth, and whether it's a pass or it's a fail, and how it comes across as, and how it finds, and where the defects are, what is the severity of the defects, and all that. So you want to prompt that agent with the knowledge base of what's good, what's bad, and also how do you improve. And because you're giving it, it's almost like a person. It's generative because it's doing the functionality of how it's trained to be able to determine what's good. You want to be able to give it some examples so it has good frame of reference to be able to understand what you're talking about. And these agents, with the tools that's built them, they are trained and they have a kind of memory to be able to reference these things. So you tell them some things they never forget, and they learn and they build and get smarter as time goes by based on past knowledge and past experience. It builds on that knowledge. So they become conditioned to your specific environment, your specific standard, your specific knowledge, and so forth. So you're giving them examples and they're learning. It learns, and because the methodology for the training is that the training of the agent that's built for you in your organization is that they will learn things that they never forget, and they build on top of that so they can make smarter decisions as you go, as they go more and more. And because they're consistent and they're standard and they can give you this stuff in real time, you give them complete information in terms of good, bad, indifferent, ways to improve, and you give them examples when you train them when you start out. So building that prompt and prompting and building your own agents when you start out is a key learning experience. And in our training class, we show you how to do this to be able to manage this. So this is their soldering expert that we train in as their agent. And we have a number of agents that we built these in our manufacturing platform. And we can show you that we have agents like these. You can see there's a number of agents that we build across the platform. So as an organization, when you are launching your AI strategy, it's going to be a matter of building the agents. This might be a little bit more than what we want to show you here, but let me give you a couple of examples. We just looked at Sally, this one, the solder inspector that we just showed you. Here we have Mike, the maintenance agent. Here we have the production planning agent. Here we have the purchasing agent. And, here we have the inventory agent. And, and on the platform, we have a total of about 12 agents as a minimum, but these will be teams of agents that you can deploy across different parts of your operation to complete your total environment. So when we deployed a pilot program, it's going to be a set of agents that's applicable to your operation at a minimum level that we deploy. So you get the feel of the AI, and the operators in those areas are going to learn the capabilities of how to create work with their agent, create the agent to be able to work alongside alongside themselves or teams of people. Because at the end of the day, we're building a platform that mimics your environment, your manufacturing environment. So it's a total integrated combination. For example, agents will work together, such as the purchasing agent will be the ones working like a buyer that can capture requisitions, create purchase orders, interact with suppliers, if you have a portal for them to react, and then pass on the information to maybe your inventory or your warehouse person, and also keep in touch with your production planning agent on parts that are coming in late, early, etc., that kind of stuff. And they all will be able to communicate with each other to be able to understand what goes on in the environment. So they plan their total capacity, they plan their on time, they're working with your order persons and everything. So the platform pilot is made up of a series of agents that mimics your environment. And that's where the concept of building the platform. So to be able to train your operators, build your agents. The operators are working and training the agents to deploy the agents alongside themselves. So you have increased capability across your operation by operation, across your entire manufacturing, across the entire production capability. across the entire manufacturing function, across the entire enterprise business function, and so forth. And that's how it's scaled. Okay, so you're going to have one agent, you have teams of agents working together, and they also are going to interact departmentally as well, from production to finance, etc., and so forth. And you can build that. So we're offering the training. We're also offering the organization pilot to be able to show you how this is scaled up in your environment to be able to train up people and deploy the agents across your teams to be able to build out as an AI strategy for your manufacturing operation. So we've done this with one company, as you see, with one use case and just starting out with a handful of agents, and we can deploy and scale. And it's agnostic at first, but if you have to integrate with your ERP, then you take it to the next step where it's integrated with your ERP. Now, integrating with your ERP now becomes where you have the AI is talking and looking at the database. So your ERP is going to be like your knowledge base that these agents work with to make decisions, pass on information, and keep track of everything. And your ERP will be there working alongside with these agents. So they're incorporated across the API connector. There's going to be a MCP protocol to be able to integrate these agents in your platform. But initially, we make it agnostic so that it's a minimum viable operation that you can scale and expand into your enterprise operation, so it becomes a dedicated concept of how it's integrated with your day-to-day manufacturing operation to give you the kinds of returns and efficiency and automation capability, not to mention the bridging the skills gap, so you don't have to hire more people. You're going to train more people at a higher level doing less mundane work. And these people are going to be working with these AI tools to be able to become more productive, more efficient, and they'll have a higher level of job creativity and understanding and orchestrating the agents that work in your environment. So it's a creep, walk, run type of capability that's going to be scaled so that overall everybody benefits starting out with this strategic approach. So that's why when we say, invite the leaders of your operations, the CIOs, the CFOs, everyone down to the innovation lead, operate the smart shop floor leaders to be part of this team in terms of strategy, then you have an AI concept. And since we're focused on manufacturing because of its more complicated capability, you're able to scale and expand more in this regard. So now, what this all boils down to is the fact that we, as a company, are looking to, let's get back to our PowerPoint here. So we are looking to deploy AI in your factory, okay? So we're looking at giving you a 3-hour training class where your team's ready for this deep dive. It's a 3-hour session that we start out with. It's a hands-on type of exercise with an AI playbook and immediate skills application. The cost of this training seat per session is we charge $397 per person per seat. We think it's affordable. We can give you that ROI positive training to train your people, train your teams, get them ready to be able to have usable AI skills, not just theory. So they're able to be comfortable to get that hands-on type of operation skills and into their skill sets, so they can learn to be having an agent that they can hand off the mundane thing to. And we take them through the steps of trying to build an agent, uh, go through their prompting, how to use the tools, what tools they will use, how they will modify the tools for themselves, for their operation specifically, and deploy an agent that they can understand the use of AI and deploy that AI function right away into their day-to-day operations and lives. And that AI agent becomes more productive and can do work to increase the capacity of your existing operators by double, two time, threefold, depending on you, because they can multitask and do more things faster in real time, etc. So the training per person is $397 per person. Now, when we talk about deploying the pilot program and we look at the organization as a whole, we will do a use case study analysis to determine and walk with you to be able to have you determine where you want to start, because you don't want to start just building agents all over the place. You want to be able to have initial success. So you want to pick one or two places in your operation to start a pilot program or 30-day pilot program that we can deploy. And we tailor this tailored deployment in your factory so that you can get some immediate quick successes to see how AI can fit before you can start scaling it out toward the rest of your factory operation. So what we do is a 30-day pilot program implementation. And if you're training your teams to be able to come along with this, then you have the added benefit of them having to be being part of a practical lab test operation in your day-to-day operation. And it's designed in such a way that there won't be any disruption to your existing operation today. So you're training your people in one aspect, and then you're building out a 30-day deployment project pilot program so that it's a scalable, small, scalable success story that you can expand into your process as you go in time. And the price of this is we charge a little bit less than $9,000 per organization that means per company, to be able to do this 30-day pilot program. It's 30 days to kind of implement this stuff, but over your 90 days after that 30-day pilot, between the training of the people involved and also the pilot, you'll be able to start seeing immediate turnaround and result in that first quarter in your rollout. Okay, so it's a matter of being an early adopter in this program, this pilot program, training your people alongside this lab experimental type of operation. So you're paying for the training seats for people, and you're also paying for the organization rollout, depending on the area you wanted to do it. And then, you can do both at the same time, but you can also do one and then the other, and it becomes that strategic pilot proof of concept before you start scaling and expanding out into the rest of your operation, your manufacturing operation. So that's the approach that we recommend. And with the pilot program, though, we're a little bit limited because, you know, we're building a platform, and we're building a AI platform that's going to be a viable thing that you can scale in your operation to to build out across your enterprise. So it gets more complicated because of the scalable build. So we have limited space that we want to start out with here to be able to develop and adopt your operation specifically. And it's going to be competitive. You don't want to be one of the last ones. So we encourage you to start registering early. So go ahead and try to and sign up. We have the team training and the pilot project, and they're available right away. We want you to reserve your seat for your training teams and also apply for the pilot program, which is limited. And we are offering go to booking your other payment links, go right away to be able to secure your training programs and your training teams. Here's a payment link. You can sign up right away online, and we can start from there. And also with the teams, with the team pilot program, you can also enroll. Then this is limited, so we want to be able to work with you. We're only going to be capable of having 3 to 5 early adopter programs in terms of the pilot to be able to start out with, because once you start with a pilot, then it becomes a scalable thing that you can do and accomplish in your operation, and you're going to be doing this for a while. So we want to be able to start with a limited number of candidates So we have room for only about 5 at this point in time, and we can scale beyond that. But do call us and book a time that we can talk to you about the strategy of how what your approach, your strategic approach is to building your AI platform. Okay, there are some significant improvement in terms of when you're building your pilot program, because when you look at, I don't know what what's the cost of one operator in your operation, but building an agent or a team of agents is about significant enough to compete with that, paying for a person when you have a AI team or a pilot program going for you, so that your headcount costs, becomes lower over the number of people, and you can do this without adding to your staff or reducing your staff or anything. You're taking your capability and doing a minimum 2x, 3x factor in terms of speed, efficiency, automation, and uh, scalability in terms of your margin and ROI build out very rapidly. So talk to us about that. What is your AI strategic plan? Begin your AI journey. And we want to start working with you right away. And for the pilot program, it's going to be limited. But do understand that you can also reach out to us at any time. We have a YouTube channel. We follow a LinkedIn newsletter subscription here. We'd like you to subscribe to the link for our smart manufacturing newsletter or YouTube channel. We have a lot of videos there that's going to be helpful to the community of users and people who want to be able to see and learn, even after they've trained with us, to be able to reach out to us and give us feedback, so we can provide better content to be able to use you in that community, to be able to use the platform a little bit more effectively once they've learned or learned AI from us and become manufacturing resource, operators and leaders in your operation, to be able to understand where manufacturing is going, new capabilities. And AI is not going to stand still. It's going to evolve and get more completed, sophisticated. So we'll have content there for you to be able to retrain, upscale yourself and everything in our YouTube community as we go forward. So that's what we're looking to do. If you're interested in us doing a self-assessment with you, let us know. But book a call with us, and we'd love to talk to you to determine what is going to be your strategic path to grow your AI knowledge and become more advanced and more profitable and expand your margins and capability as you go forward. So thank you for listening to our workshop discussion today on introducing AI, training your teams, and building part of a pilot program. We look forward to talking to you, but go ahead and book a call with us. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. And thanks for your time today in this 1 short minute discussion of the workshop strategy for learning and getting on board with your AI journey for your manufacturing operation. Thank you very much.